Galamsey is a major crisis. Galamsey is Ghana's drug crisis. You see the way Colombia deals with cartels, and the way Ghana has to deal with, that's the same way Ghana has to deal with Galamsey. Because if you look at the challenges and how the drug cartels work, arming themselves in the farms where they grow their coca plants and all of that, is similar to what's going on here. And that's why I support organized labor for a state of emergency in the areas where this thing is happening. Why we have to deploy our security services. Organized labor is not asking for too much. Randy, Chinya says he doesn't know, but what you stated is emphatic, that on the day the president was meeting organized labor, October the 3rd, 11 new licenses were given.
Yeah, the only clarity I need to make is that there is no evidence that those licenses were given for forest reserves.
Yeah, but yes. Randy, in this time and season, are you supposed to be giving out new licenses?
Why not?
No, Randy, we're dealing with what we already have. The problem we already have. Look, some of us subscribe to the school of thought that is at least for a year there should be a complete ban on mining. Look, the land needs to heal. Our water bodies need to heal. And it is just unconscionable, it's unthinkable that people sit in parliament with myself and Chinya, members of parliament, and they're engaged in Galamsey. Ministers like him, and I'm not saying he is, I'm saying people who are ministers in this government are engaged in Galamsey.
Alleged to be engaged in Galamsey.
Yes, but see, Randy, when people say let's take the politics out of the conversation, how do you take politics out of the conversation on Galamsey and get it fixed? Is politics not the reason why we have Galamsey? Is it not because chiefs and politicians are engaged in Galamsey, that's why it's going on? Randy, how many ordinary citizens have the money to buy their excavators? One excavator is like $200,000. Randy, I know someone who works for a company that sells excavators. And just 4 days ago, Russians came to her with a new license, asking for fresh excavators. They were holding cash to buy excavators to go and just mine in our forest reserves. Why are we mining in forest reserves? Because President Akufo-Addo has been so callous enough to bring to Parliament that ally. The ally that threatens our forest cover. You see, Randy, you have the ministry in one breath saying that they are planting trees. In another breath, they are asking people to go into forest reserves and cut down trees. And Randy, is it because the president's daughters are alleged to have an interest in Galamsey permits, companies that have Galamsey permits? What is this? What is this insane obsession for wealth that's driving people? And Randy, I don't care whether the person is NDC or MPPO, because the damage that's been done to our economy is not going to select your political party. Anybody who is engaged in illegal mining must be dealt with by law. Completely dealt with by law. But the president will not act. And the president's position was summed up by our colleague from Ifiduasi, Secretary, whatever, Ifri, the former head of AFAC, Dr. Ifri, what's his other name? Where he says that they will not stop Galamsey today, they will not fight it tomorrow because it is a political decision, because it will cost them votes. That's what he said. But is it not President Akufo-Addo who said he was placing his presidency on the line to fight Galamsey? And yesterday, Randy, when we were wrapping up our Family Values March, we saw the citizens who demonstrated against Galamsey in handcuffs being brought to the court. And it is sad that we live in a country, a supposed doyen of the rule of law, a president who was sold to Ghanaians as someone who believed in the human rights of people, is overseeing the prosecution, incarceration, punishment of people protesting against the damage to our water bodies. Look at the waters flowing through our taps. Does the president not have the milk of human compassion running through his veins? The president is 80 and over. He's closer to meeting his maker than yourself and myself or than our children. The president does not care anymore. Randy, those people need to be freed. Every single one of them must be granted bail.
We're told that the 30 of them who were sent to court yesterday, that is the second batch,
Yes.
they were granted bail. So the only person who's not been granted bail
Is Oliver Bakaboma.
is, yes, and the judge gave his reasons.
You know, but Randy, it is just sad, completely sad, that innocent citizens should be treated that way under a man who claims to be a doyen of the rule of law. Simply because, according to the conversation in the Minister for Environment office at the time, Pati Hiasika. So how much money do you want as a people? I mean, Randy, they have dissipated the Bank of Ghana. They have dissipated our economy. Now even our natural reserves are being dissipated. Randy, revoking the airline is not enough. There must be an immediate revocation of all licenses that have been issued. You see, because you ask the question, if you revoke the airline, does it take retrospective action? The only way it will take retrospective action is if you suspend or revoke, not suspend, revoke all licenses granted for mining in forest bodies and forest reserves. And Randy, the Minerals Commission must be up and doing. They're giving prospecting licenses to people and people are mining with it and they're sitting there. I mean, look, it's like everywhere you turn to in this country under President Akufo-Addo, it's a crime scene. It's a crime scene. You don't know what offense we've committed. And we have been left in a place where nothing is working. Look at the state of our water bodies. Look at the state of our water bodies. And I'm worried. You know, people say, oh, but you are demonstrating in Accra. Why won't you demonstrate in Accra? Accra is served by the Brim and Densu. And those have all been polluted. Randy, tell me which of the boys you see on those chamfan machines having money to be able to do the chamfan, buy that chamfan machine. One chamfan machine is over $250,000. If it is not politicians and chiefs who are buying this machine, who are the people buying the machines? But we have a crop of highly corrupted politicians and chiefs who are more interested in making money, making obscene amounts of money. And so they would put our collective survival at risk. Because Randy, water survival is critical. In fact, it is predicted that the next global war will be over water. In the course I did in LSE on national security and all of those things, the next global war will be fought over fresh water. We have it, and we are destroying it. Andy, if this is not wickedness, then it is foolishness. It is one of the two. But we cannot continue like this. And we need to be able to call a spade a spade. And the president must act. And you see, Randy, what annoys me the most is those who say, let's come and sign a pact. A pact for what? Did we sign a pact for Doomsor? Did they ask us to bring collective action for Doomsor? Did you not tell us that President Mahama was president and he should fix Doomsor? Galamsey is a problem. There is a president. There is a government. Fix it. Now you are asking the opposition to come and fix it. Does the opposition issue licenses? Does the opposition issue licenses that we should come and fix it? The people issuing licenses, are they not appointees of the president? Is it not the government issuing the licenses? Now you want to make it a collective problem? It is not a collective problem. It is your problem. You have created this mess. You have issued over 1,400 licenses in 7 years. You have made this an unconscionable situation for us. Engineer, if we don't unite as a people and say to those in government and those in power who are responsible for this, and those shielding those responsible for this, that enough is enough and that we will not tolerate this, our children will hold us responsible. Because you see, Randy, you may say that, oh, Especially those in government, they have the money. They will start importing water. They will import the water that they drink. But will they import the water that they bath? You know what they forget? You know those who get cancer from using the bleaching creams and things? But they don't swallow the cream. They just rub it on their skin. It seeps in. The water you bath with is beginning to seep into your skin. It will get into your bloodstream. So Randy, where are we going? Randy, you know, you say you don't want Ghana water. You can't even drill a borehole now. Because the groundwater is polluted with heavy metals. Right now, even yam exports, and you know why I'm bothered? There is a company, one of the biggest yam exporters in this country is in my constituency, opposite City Escape on the Pampam Road. They package yams and export. And now even our yams are at risk of being kicked out because they are discovering heavy metals in them. It's going to put out young men and women in my constituency from jobs. So when I speak about Galamsey, you can say to me that there's no Galamsey going on in Ngo Pram Pram, but it affects us. It affects our survival. And this is our problem. So Randy, look, the buck stops with one person, President Akufo-Addo. He is responsible for this. We will hold him responsible for this, and posterity will remember him for his failure to act.
Okay, so speaking about the rule of law and all that, I saw a post yesterday that saddened me. One of the protesters who was granted bail on Monday, Felicity Nelson. Okay, put out this post. Put out the post yesterday. And the bail was granted on Monday.
Yeah.
Says, my bail was granted around 11 a.m. yesterday. The court was only sent to the police around, the court order was only sent to the police around 2 p.m. today. So I think she was granted a bail on Tuesday yesterday. So she was part of the 30. So it says, my bail was granted around 11 a.m. yesterday. The court order was only sent to the police around 2 p.m. today. Oh,
no, so she was yesterday. She was granted a bail on Monday. So she posted this yesterday. I saw
on Monday. Yesterday. So although she was granted a bail at 11 a.m. on Monday, the court order was only sent to the police 2 p.m. yesterday. So although she was granted a bail,
no, it was the same day. She was granted a bail at 11 a.m.
Yes,
but the court order was sent at 2 p.m.
She said my bail was granted around 11 a.m. yesterday. She was writing. She was
writing yesterday,
Tuesday. So her bail was granted
on
11
Monday.
a.m. on Monday.
And was sent.
It says my court order was only sent to the police around 2 p.m. today,
Tuesday. Okay.
So she was granted a bail on Monday, 11 a.m. But she was still in custody.
The whole of Monday?
Yes. The court order was only sent to the police 2 p.m. on Tuesday. Says the police needs to verify the sureties. This still hasn't been done. The police needs to sign the release form after verifying the sureties. This still hasn't been done. Currently, all the personnel at Ghana Police Service who need to do the verification and consequently sign the release form are the court premises. The person who signs the bail bond closed at 4 p.m. today. That's yesterday. Okay. The person who needs to sign the bail bond at the High Court apparently won't be working tomorrow. That's today. See you next week. Do you see how the state conspires to frustrate its citizens? This is how the protester ended. So this is a protester who was granted bail 11 a.m.
on Monday.
And that's a protester putting this out after 5 p.m. on Tuesday.